Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay. Oh my God. Oh, okay. Hello, hello? Okay. Hopefully this mic is working.
And she is 3 hours behind, and then she's going to an appearance in 30 minutes.
Hello.
There's Kelly.
Hi, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we can. You have some familiar faces and supporters on here tonight. Which
Hi, everybody. Good to see you.
I just mentioned, I said, have you had mock interviews with your board, or is this kind of...
Just one back in July, actually. So it's been a minute.
And we still don't know details. I mean,
no details. And I've been pretty calm about it until this week.
You and I will hash more tomorrow. Yeah. Don't have fear. But yeah, Taylor was like, I love a mock. I'll jump in. So here we go. So no opening, no closing. This is really to help Taylor just feel around where she's at, use her paperwork. Feel free to throw anything else at her. And this is the first one of these we're doing, with my Miss America girls this year. So this is exciting. So I am pleased to introduce, Larry, I'll have you start. I am pleased to introduce Miss Nevada, Taylor Blatchford.
Good evening.
Hello. Hi, Taylor. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Great. So you were crowned Miss Nevada in June. What has been the thing between then and now that you've been proudest of doing as Miss Nevada?
I am very proud to say that as of right now in September, I am one of the most well-booked and most well-traveled Miss Nevadas. One of the goals I had for this year was to end my reign in June of 2024 with the most appearances of any Miss Nevada, and thankfully I am well on my way to doing that. But contrarily, I had the same goal if I am to be named Miss America. I want to be the most well-booked and most traveled Miss America as well.
Are there certain appearances that you're looking for over others?
Absolutely. One of my ultimate goals is to partner with the Department of Education and work with them to provide national internet safety education for every single school in the state. And I also want to work with the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, because one of my other goals is to make sure that Text to Regret has a presence in every state in the country. And if I can work with the Boys and Girls Club of America to ensure that at least one of their clubs in every state has access to a cyber civics curriculum, that could be very impactful.
All of these travels, all of these appearances, do you think that Miss America is or should be considered a celebrity in 2024?
I think she should be considered a celebrity, but even more than that, I think Miss America should be considered a role model. And I think anyone who is serious about the role of Miss America and having that job for a year should consider the kind of role model they want to be. For example, if I am to be named Miss America, I want to be known as the Miss America who has an air of joy about her. Joy is my middle name. It is something that I try to exhibit in my personality and also in every interaction I have with other people. And at my core, that is who I am, and that's what I want to share.
I want to just quick jump back. You had said, you had mentioned the Department of Education and partnering with Boys and Girls Clubs. Have you started that action plan? Have you started to make the connections? Where are you at with your work with both?
Absolutely. I've been in contact with some government officials here in Nevada to get in touch with the Department of Education here in our state. And I have plans to hold a meeting with them prior to the end of the year. So thankfully, we are well on our way to revising the integrated technology standards for the schools and the education system here in Nevada. And then, of course, the next step as a national representative of this organization would be to speak to the U.S. Department of Education. And for the Boys and Girls Clubs, I am in communication with every single Boys and Girls Club in the state. There are 7 branches, and each of them is going to have a cyber civics curriculum. And so far, I have the curriculum in 3 states already. And my goal before Miss America is to have it in 25.
So Las Vegas is shutting down because of cyber attacks right now. How has that affected you?
Well, being a Las Vegas native, it's interesting to see a community pillar like MGM and Caesars Entertainment fall victim to this. And it's very interesting because I had a conversation just this past week with the vice president of an organization named Black Cloak. And they are, for lack of a better way of putting it, they are the good hackers, and they help organizations that have been impacted get back on track after falling victim to the bad hackers and their actions. And we talked extensively about what's happening at MGM. And a lot of these high-profile businesses and celebrities and role models are being targeted for their status. And that's exactly what happened at MGM. And it goes right back to online safety and how that correlates with cybersecurity.
So something else about Las Vegas, I follow a Fun Vegas account because I went out there last year, and apparently there's all of these attractions on the Strip that will not be available till after this Formula One race is happening in November. Like you can't get near the Bellagio fountains until Christmas now. Mm-hmm. If you were somebody who, you're a native, but if you were somebody who had just booked a trip to Las Vegas and found out that you couldn't walk on big parts of the Strip and you couldn't see all these things, how would you feel about it? Like, should the city of Las Vegas be discouraging tourism right now?
No, because we still have so much to offer in the surrounding areas of Las Vegas. I know something I love personally, especially in this new era of Miss America Fit, is taking hikes in the nature valleys around Las Vegas. For example, we have Red Rock Canyon, and you can easily make a 1-week camping trip out of that. I wouldn't suggest that right now because it's still 110 degrees in the middle of September. But I, on the other hand, I want to express my personal frustration with Formula One. It takes probably 30 minutes just to drive anywhere through the Las Vegas Strip, and it's awful. But please, still come to Las Vegas.
Taylor, earlier this month, the Miss Universe organization announced that it would be doing away with the age limit for their pageants. So basically, there's no end. How do you feel about that? And is that something that the Miss America organization should consider?
I personally feel that it's a mistake, and I don't think the Miss America organization, the Miss America opportunity should follow suit with that. And when I think about all of these pageant systems, whether it be Miss America, Miss USA, Miss United States, what we all have in common is that we each have an individual brand that pertains to the women who are attracted to those programs. And I do think that the age range helps market that brand in a particular way. I graduated from the University of Alabama, which has the premier advertising and PR program in the nation. And if there is one thing I walked away learning is that you have to have a target audience, you have to have a brand. And if it's accessible to everybody, that's really going to discourage sponsorships. It's going to discourage the future of the organization from thriving.
So that big eye in the middle of Las Vegas, is that a good thing? It's technology enabled, but it really looks like an eyesore to me. You like it?
I do. I think it's kind of cute. I think it is definitely something that's very jarring to see at first. I was driving down the Strip for an appearance just a few days ago, and I wasn't expecting to see it. And it threw me for a loop. It had the figure of a moon going when I was driving past it. And so I literally thought the world was ending for a second. But I think it's cute. I think it's a really great addition to Las Vegas. And it's something that's been driving tourism, going back to the point we were discussing earlier.
Do you think former President Trump has made the right decision in skipping the Republican presidential debates? His poll numbers are going up.
I don't think so. I think the American people, after all he has put us through, deserve to hear what he has to say. And considering that this is a
He's certainly saying it in other places, but should he be in the debates?
Should he be in the debate? I think it would be interesting to see how he can present himself in a formal manner rather than posting on social media, posting it in a very public way with his fellow candidates right next to him.
What do you look for in our next president?
I look for someone who is going to be a leader, and unfortunately, I don't think we're seeing that in a lot of candidates right now. I listened to an interesting interview with Vivek Ramaswamy on one of my current event podcasts just a few weeks ago, and this was before he started to gain a lot of traction with his performance in one of the most recent GOP debates. And I was very impressed at his level-headed nature and his ability to present the conservative values in a very professional way. And I think he showed great leadership there. I just hope we can see that from both our Republican and Democratic candidates.
I see here that you have established a 501c3. Mm-hmm. So establishing a 501c3 and operating one are two very different things. Are you operating that 501c3 or did you just establish it and it's idle? What's going on with that?
I established, operated, running the whole show. That is my title at this point in time. And I'm very proud to say that we just received a $10,000 donation that is going towards purchasing cyber civics curriculums and donating them to youth organizations and schools throughout the country. And that means that is going to be 100 curriculums forward towards reaching my goal of hopefully impacting at least 25 states, but hopefully more prior to Miss America. And it just gives me hope that other people see the value of this mission, whether they are part of my personal 501c3 or not.
So as you prepare for Miss America, tell me about your style budget for your wardrobe.
I will be the first person to admit that almost everything I have worn to an appearance this year has been rented from Rent the Runway. And that is a partnership I would love to develop as Miss America because they have this amazing inventory of clothes for every single occasion. Anything you could imagine, and it's perfect for title holders. And as Miss America, when you are doing at least one appearance every single day, I don't know why we don't have a really solid casual clothing sponsorship like that. And so one of the first partnership calls I want to make is to Rent the Runway because they have helped me as Miss Nevada stay on budget.
So you said you wanted to perform with Celine Dion. She's not performing right now. Mm-hmm. Who's next on your list?
Lindsey Sterling. I think she could help me with my violin choreography because it is so hard, and I wish more non-instrumentalists realize, first of all, how hard it is to play the violin at all, but then to dance and also play the violin at the same time. It is quite a feat, and she just makes it look so effortless. And if I could just be on stage with her, I think that would be the coolest thing.
Taylor, at the end of your year as Miss America, what's the most important thing you want the American public to remember about you?
I know I referenced this just a little bit earlier, but I want them to remember my joy. I want them to remember my effervescent personality. One of the sponsors we have as Miss Nevada is Green Valley Grocery, and our marketing director that we work with, her name is Nicole, and she has worked with several state title holders, several Miss Americas over the years. And she took me aside at one appearance and she said, you know what, Taylor, you just have that personality that can connect with anybody. It's so welcoming. It's so positive. It's so joyful. You would never know what kind of day you were having, good or bad, prior to just being around the people you are with in the moment. And I think that is a skill that Miss Miss America needs to have.
So how do you really? Now you're going to stop.
Is it a good question?
All of my questions are good, Chris, but we can stop.
All right, last question. Go ahead, ask it again.
Larry, I want to hear it.
It really is not that good, honestly. What I was going to say, just building on what you just said, is how do you compartmentalize? So let's say you're having a bad day. Mm-hmm. Let's say everything went wrong on the way to that appearance. Mm-hmm. How do you mask that in order to give the impression that you are having a great day and are so happy to be wherever you are.
I take a deep breath and I think about how lucky I am to even be in this role to begin with. But I also think that there is a certain kind of magic associated with being a title holder in this organization. And I feel it even myself, because I could be having the worst day ever, but when I walk into an appearance and I start talking to people, it is the oddest thing, because every bad thing that has happened goes away. Every negativity, everything that is stressing me out, and I just feel so in the moment. And that's how I know I'm ready for a bigger role in this organization, because no matter where I am in the country, no matter how tired I am or how little sleep I've had, I know that the magic of being a title holder and connecting with those people is what is ultimately going to prevail.
Great. All right, good. Let's stop there. Well done, young lady. Well done. Well done. It is amazing. You know, it's so interesting to sit back and think like 2 years ago, you know, like where you were at in the game. I mean, Taylor, I love to tell the story, so I'll tell it really quick. Like 2 years ago, summer of 2021, Taylor came to me. We didn't even know each other with a game plan up. I want to make top 12 Miss Alabama. I want to go home and be Miss Nevada. And she did it.
Yep.
So it's kind of cool. And just the growth and the timing and the maturity, it's just really cool. I mean, if that was your Miss America interview, like I would walk away from that being like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. You know, like, I mean, really, that's just where you're at. So it's just going to be so much more fine tuning and things, but a lot of really wonderful things happening. I can save my feedback for tomorrow since we're going to meet, but I'm excited to hear what the judges have to say. So I'm going to start with my top box, and that is Sarah Jane Howland.
Hi, I'm a super fan, as you know, long time.
Good to see you.
And you know, Lindsay Sterling was Utah's junior Miss.
Yep, I do. Yep. She won the year, or she and Katie Stam competed the same year.
But she's really easy to contact. Like, I know she's reached out to other girls that are violin players, so you could make that happen very easily.
As long as I can play Millionaire's Hoedown, because I don't want to play anything else. Okay, cool. So, I'll reach out to her.
I think everything you say is meaningful. You have a beautiful presentation. There were a couple of moments.
Customers who haven't bought from you in a long time. MailChimp.
Hi. I don't know what that voice was. I just think I want you to ask for the job. There's a couple of moments where you could have said, and as Miss America, I can protect America's children. I can teach cyber civics. You didn't close the deal. And the only other thing is, when you were saying joy, I want to see a tiny bit more joy in the process of the interview. Again, so when you're laughing and when you talk about something being cute, I get it, I see it. But again, if you're going to tell us that, you really have to show us that. But again, like Chris said, like, you're right there, and just one more magic moment, and you're Miss America.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to over-exaggerate here, and you'd be like, I really want people to know that my middle name is Joy. Like, that's kind of how that came across a little bit. So we do see it in other parts, but I know you're like, I want to get this point across, but like, please let us in on some of it in that moment.
Cool. Okay.
All right, Nakia Tross.
Nakia Tross. Hi. So a couple things. One, Department of Education and the Boys and Girls Club and Run the Runway. So these are things that my brain thinks, just as a former executive director, as you're preparing for Miss America, right? Like, don't wait on these things, right? Start to work on them to set them up, because they're so simple. So the U.S. Secretary of Education is actually a friend of mine.
Can you hook us up? Can you please hook us up?
Do that. I knew that.
He did know that. He did a whole video from his office in D.C. when my daughter competed at Miss America's Outstanding Teen, like wishing her the best of luck, because her platform is education driven. And his wife is a former Miss Connecticut. She competed at Miss America, right?
Wait, so for real, can I hit you up after this, and can I get in touch with him?
So he's very accessible, and he understands this realm of things, right?
Yeah.
So yes. So that is a cool link up for that. But don't wait for that. Also, the Run the Runway, we did the same thing with Run the Runway. It's amazing. no one has been able to like link up with them on a state level. Totally try. Like throw yourself in. No one from here.
Sorry, what was that? Sorry. Go.
The runway. Like try to set these things up. Your interview's great. I'm just giving you like things to like.
Yeah, I'm open to it. I love
more
it.
Like meat and potatoes that you had mentioned that are like great and amazing things. Like try to get that set beforehand. The last time we had a clothing sponsor like that was when it was Joseph Ribkoff, was the clothing sponsor for Miss America. Let's say we're going back like 7 or 8 years, and they sponsored like every single outfit. We haven't had one like that since. So Rent the Runway is great because it's not, and we would be a brand ambassador. That's incredible, amazing. Like, go for it. Try to get them to sponsor you as a state. Go from there. The rest, great job. I just wanted to dive in on those two little things. I'm going to Las Vegas in November, and I hope whatever Formula One is, it doesn't.
Oh God, are you coming for Formula One?
She just said she doesn't know what it is.
Straight. Oh, sorry. I guess I misheard that. My bad. Good luck.
Are they doing a race
It's
down
awful.
the Las Vegas part? Is that why this is a thing?
Yeah. Like I was being a little nicer about it in the process of the formal interview. It's like god awful. I hate being downtown right now. Like it is the worst. I have cried in traffic down there before. Anyway, sorry.
Go to Instagram and follow Vegas Starfish. She's like an insider account on all things, and I follow, and she is like posting all up a storm about it. It's really interesting.
It's I never mind. I'm triggered now. Sorry. It stresses me out. And then they're gonna have to take it all down. Like I'm so done. I hate when I have to go down there. Anyway.
When I saw that you were at the Macy's at Fashion Show Mall, I thought, oh God, that must
it was bad. Yeah, that was just like on Friday, and it was bad. It was terrible. Anyway, yeah, it's okay. I made it though. I made it out alive.
My friends are going for the Kylie Minogue residency in November too. I should probably tell them.
Yeah, it's bad. It's okay. Like you'll still have fun, but like, oh my God, it's just a pain in the ass for us who live there. Anyway, sorry.
Move on. Elena, please.
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought all of your answers were really solid. I was definitely, I loved your answer to the celebrity question, right? Especially because, and how you turned it into not just a celebrity, but also a role model. Because you think of like business people are celebrities too, right? Jeff Bezos is a celebrity, right? Mm-hmm. And it's for what he did, and not necessarily just because, you know, he's a cool talent or something like that. I liked that you did I agree with Sarah Jane that you didn't close the deal with kind of saying, like putting yourself enough into I am your next Miss America. But I did like how you are so well versed in the organization that you worked it into everything, right? Like you worked in Miss America Fit of all things, with the question about visiting Vegas, right? And I thought that was actually pretty impressive that you were able to do that. When I asked you about what you look for in the next president, it started off kind of bland, right? You said, I'm looking for someone who's going to be a leader. Well, yeah, right? So, but your example was concrete, so I'd rather have you think a little bit about that. Because, I mean, if you don't get a question about, like, the upcoming election, I will be shocked.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, you're within the range of the cycle, so.
Yeah. So, but otherwise, I mean, like you said, I would be really, really proud if that was your Miss America interview. It's pretty solid.
Thank you.
Really, really good. All right, Larry Hoffer, take us home.
So I agree with what all of my esteemed panelists had to say. I think it really just comes across as effortless for you, honestly.
Thank you.
And I admire that very much because you get an insight into what? Are you stopping me?
Just said because it didn't used to be so effortless.
Yay!
The good news is that I didn't see when it wasn't effortless, so I just think it's effortless.
Thank you.
So good for you. I think some of your answers are still a little long, and for example, as Elena just talked about the president answer, like you could have done without sort of the beginning, and then the meat of that answer was your answer. And so there were a couple of those, and the only reason that they're just so full of, your answers are so full of content. So it isn't like there's a lot of filler. It's just, I want the judges at Miss America to see how well-rounded you are, to get more of, serious Taylor and fun Taylor and, passionate Taylor. There's so many aspects to your personality. So, shortening your answers a little bit, I think, will allow the judges to see all of those aspects and fall more in love with you. And I also think that sometimes you are a little too careful with some of your answers. Mm-hmm. The Trump answer, I felt like you were a little too careful with, a little bit, because I also think that you didn't necessarily understand what Chris asked first, because then you were saying something and then Chris said, well, the debates, and you were like, oh, the debate, so I just think, take a second, listen, make sure you know what they're asking. But yeah, like everybody else said, honestly, like if this is your Miss America interview, it's great. So, for the next couple of months, you can just build on this amazing baseline and you're set. So don't stress out that you don't know when it is or where it is. I mean, I totally understand.
No promises. Okay. But you are not losing momentum in your interview. You got it, nailed it down. And so don't stress about that. Because if you have to wait till January and you find out in December, you're fine. You're fine. Okay. Thank you. It does help to hear that, I promise.
You're someone, and I can tell, if you got a phone call and said, hey, Miss America's next week, you're flying out tomorrow, you could go and you would be so far ahead of the curve. And I say that as someone between my misses and my teens, assuming they're all the same week, like if I had to pick a lineup, like you're the leadoff hitter, okay? None of them are ready to go. You are ready to go.
Are you serious?
Oh, absolutely. Because the thing is, you never take your foot off the gas, and that does not take away from them being good state title holders, as misses, as teens, as whoever, but not a single one of them is ready to walk into their Miss America or Miss America's teen interview tomorrow. And I know that because they've told me that. So you are and you may not feel as ready, but you are just so good. You will always be ready. And it's really about, the fact that we're talking about polishing these partnerships and stuff, like that was, that's where you're at. And that just shows how good you are, because the skill set in general is so great. And that's the thing, you got into that zone, you won overall interview at your state pageant, you won your state pageant, and that's where you're at. And that's your baseline now, and there will be ebbs and flows over the course of the next few months. That's going to happen. But your foundation is so good and so solid, and you can fly on that, all the time.
Thank you. So, I appreciate that. Have fun with the Miss USA girls tonight. That's exciting. They're really close.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Are you going to go?
I can't, because the big appearance I'm going up there for is at the same time as finals on the 29th. And so I'm so sad. I'll be up there, within 5 miles, and I won't be able to go. It's okay, though. I'll watch it.
It's all right. I'm curious what it's going to be like, because I just don't know. And somebody texted me and said, are you going? And I said, no.
It was me. I asked you, I think. Yeah.
Oh, no, somebody else asked me
too. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say. Anyway.
What do you have tonight?
I am going to the Greek food festival. And I won't be able to eat any of it.
Jealous already of that. So
what was that?
Do you have a hashtag? Do you have a cute new hashtag?
I've been using the hashtag share joy, because I'm trying to kind of I think I'll probably talk to Chris more about this tomorrow. Like, just I'm trying to use that as like a brand or like a marketing thing heading in, but that's kind of what I've been using. Yeah.
I'm sure to talk to Chris though.
So I'm sure you're coming in with an agenda for me tomorrow.
Actually, I do. I was planning on writing it out tonight. I'm not even kidding. Anyway.
And you wanted to do noon your time, right?
Yes. Noon my time. So yeah, sounds good.
No problem. All right, great to see you, Taylor.
All right, good to see all of you. Thank you. And Miss Troth, I'm going to be in touch with you. So I'll talk to you soon. All right, bye.
No problem.
Taylor, your number.
What?
I sent Taylor your number, Nikki.
Oh.
I'll probably text you tomorrow. Anyway, thank you all. See you soon.